So you've just loaded up your brand new level 30 Rafa. You've spawned in, you've got no build, and you have a load of random loot that means nothing to you. And you're thinking to yourself, what do I do next? Well, in this video I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take you from powerless and lost to an absolute badass, melting everything in your path. Now, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to press the start button, we are going to go along to session settings, and we are going to turn off Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. There is no reason to have this on as we have no build whatsoever, and we are just going to get crushed by everything having this on. So we're going to go ahead, turn it off, put the difficulty on normal, and apply these settings. Now, for our skill tree, we are going down the red skill tree using the Peacebreaker Cannon's action skill. I'm going to go over all the skill points, and then I'll go over the augment and capstone. For our skill points, we are putting 5 in Sighter. This gives us 25% more gun damage, and then we are putting 4 points into Deft Hands, giving us and our Peacebreaker Cannons increased fire rate. We are then going to jump down and put 5 points into Jurger. Whenever Rafa critically hits an enemy, our action skill duration is restored. This is great for mobbing, especially, and also bosses that take a bit longer, but mainly mobbing. We are then going to drop down and we are going to put 2 points into I'm not even going to pronounce that, into this perk, which is going to give us damage reduction while our overdrive is active, which our overdrive correlates to our action skill. So when our action skill is active, we take 15% less damage. We're then going to put 2 points into Maestro, giving our skill even more damage, being our Peacebreaker Cannons. If you wanted to, you could move these 2 points, you could put a point into increased fire rate and then keep one in here, or put one into damage resistance and one into fire rate, it's up to you. I like to have them here because our Peacebreaker Cannons are very helpful at this stage. We are then going to go ahead and drop down and put 5 points into Vitriol. The first shot fired from our fully loaded magazine deals bonus corrosive damage. This pairs very well if we get a Jacob's shotgun, so when you are opening up your quest rewards that you get at the very start, if you do get a Jacob's shotgun or find one on the floor during this whole guide, I recommend picking it up because this pairs beautifully with that. I would then go ahead and put 5 points into concentrated build up. While aiming with a gun, we deal bonus shock damage. This doesn't mean we deal increased shock damage, this means no matter what gun we are using, element whatsoever, when we aim, we are going to gain shock damage as well. This is great for shredding shields and overall just getting even more DPS with all our weapons. We're then going to drop down and put 1 point into Inspirado. Whenever Rafa inflicts a status effect on an enemy, we gain increased action skill cooldown rate and action skill duration. In this build, you're going to see we apply a lot of elemental debuffs and status effects. So this perk is actually very good to have because it's going to give us our action skill quicker whenever we run out. In terms of our augment and capstone, for our augment we are using Bullet Buddy Deluxe. While our Peacebreaker Cannons are active, we are going to deal, or our Peacebreaker Cannons are going to deal bonus incendiary damage based on how full our magazine is. This is a nice benefit, but the main important part of this augment is when we press our action skill during our action skill, we are going to consume no ammo with our gun for 8 seconds, essentially giving us infinite ammo for 8 seconds when we press our action skill button during our active action skill. This is great for just melting bosses or melting strong enemies like badasses. For our capstone, we are using Beam Team. Rafa's Peacebreaker Cannons are replaced with a Shock Beam and a Corrosive Beam. Each beam automatically locks onto enemies in your view and may lock onto different enemies. Whenever we apply a status effect, we gain increased action skill damage. This doesn't just apply to your beams, this obviously applies to our concentrated build up, our Vitriol perk. This is very good to have as it's going to buff up our action skill even more, making it deal even more damage on top of the damage bonuses we've already given it in this build. Now that we have sorted out our skill tree and changed the difficulty of our game, we are going to go ahead and go to our first farm, being Splash Zone. we are coming to Splash Zone because we are going to farm the fireworks shield from him, which is great for mobbing. However, while we are farming him, we are also going to be on the lookout for a rep kit, maybe a better shield for while we're farming the shield, a better enhancement, a class mod, and weapons and ordnances. We are after the fireworks shield mainly, but we are also going to take this opportunity to farm up some better loot all around for ourselves. Now that we have our fireworks shield and hopefully some better loot, our next farm is going to be Vile Lictor. Annoyingly, he is placed at the complete opposite side of the map to where we are now, but we are going to use this to our advantage. On our way to Vile Lictor, we are going to grab any safe houses, silos, etc. to give us our SDU upgrade tokens to upgrade our backpack, ammo capacity, vault, etc. Just as a reminder to anyone, we cannot actually access Vile Lictor's fortress directly. We have to go to the top left of the region to the substation Canary. Here we then go through all the grapple points to then get access to Vile Lictor's fortress. Once we have reached Vile Lictor, we are now going to farm him for the Instigator class mod for Rafa. This class mod is very strong for farming bosses because whenever our Peacebreaker cannons fire at an enemy, we are going to gain a stack of Instigator. Instigator is going to give us plus 2% gun damage for every stack. But we are going to lose all these stacks whenever our Peacebreaker cannons fire at a new enemy. That is why this class mod is very good for boss damage. And that's why we farm the shield, because that's going to help us with mobbing. Another great benefit to this class mod is it gives us a crap load of points for skills we've invested in our build, which means it's going to make our skill tree even stronger. Now, what I'm about to say is very important, so don't go skipping ahead or stopping here because you may end up shooting yourself in the foot. Our next farm is going to be the Old Scrape Ripper drill site located in the bottom right of the Terminus Range region. At this drill site we can get some very good legendaries, including the Shiny War Rep Kit, which is very good for increasing our fire rate and our overall DPS. We can also get the Lucian's Flank, which is a very good Vladov assault rifle which does ricochet. This pairs amazingly with the ricochet side of Rafa's skill tree. And we can also get the Hellwalker Jacob shotgun, which pairs amazingly with the Vitriol passive skill that we have in our skill tree, which gives us bonus corrosive damage on the first shot of our fully loaded magazines. However, this is the important part, we are not going to do this farm right now, and that is because of Borderlands' weird leveling scaling system. For some reason, whenever you make these new level 30 characters, everything seems to go a bit wibbly wobbly in terms of the level scaling system. So, everything at this drill site is going to be 3 to 6 levels above you, which makes farming this drill site an absolute pain in the arse. So what I would highly recommend you do is actually just go off and do some side missions and side activities. Get to about level 35 I found, and then you can come back here and farm it perfectly fine. You won't be 6 levels under everything, making it a much simpler farm to get 2 insanely strong weapons and a rep kit you can last until you're level 50. And that is it. If you have followed all these steps, you should have yourself a very powerful Rafa, capable of dealing with anything you decide to jump into in Borderlands 4. If you have enjoyed the video or found it helpful, a like and subscribe goes a very long way on this channel. We are currently on the road to 1000 subs, which would be a huge milestone for me, so if you are able to help out with that, I would be very much appreciative. That is it from me. As always, I hope you have a good rest of your day.